Hi, soul friends. So, I have been guided to offer some clarification for this week's Soul Path reading. I've been kind of receiving messages that maybe the information was not as clear, or someone would like a little bit more clarity on the Soul Path guidance that we received this week. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Again, this is a high vibrational message, and if it does not resonate with you, that's okay. Take what does resonate with you and leave what does not. Um, and in that case, let's just go ahead and pray ourselves in and thank the divine God, Holy Spirit, our angels and ancestors for protecting us and giving us clear messages as we align ourselves to our soul path and purpose. Okay, so I decided or was guided to kind of get into using my um, psychic tarot oracle deck. And I'm going to use this deck to kind of help us clarify um, what came up in the distant past, the present, and the near future, and then the distant future, so that we can understand how to connect that to our soul path guidance for this week. So thank you, God and Spirit, for clear messages. Thank you for clear messages. Distant past, crown chakra. Okay. Past, rest and rejuvenation. Okay. Present energy, suffering and silence. Okay. The immediate future, shadow. Okay. It's inverted shadow. Distant future, the waiting game. Okay. So I am going to clarify these cards and read from our guidebook. So the first card that came up for our distant past is the crown chakra in the upright position. And we also have some hidden messages here with the 7 being a divine number. 7 is the crown chakra. It can be channeled using the sound of Om, and it's the element of thought. And so the key words or mantra for this chakra is I know. So the crown chakra, which is located at the top of the head, has been called the thousand pleated lotus, or the receiver of light. This chakra is the center of your link with the universe, the infinite, and your higher consciousness. It's the connection between wisdom and spiritual insight. The crown center is the area where the light and energy are received and then dispersed throughout your aura for total well-being. To balance the chakra, meditation, breath work, yoga, spiritual healing, acupuncture, and color therapy work best. When properly aligned, your crown chakra will expand to a point where it's possible to access and tap into the deepest sources of wisdom. So, in the distant past, you may have been getting into activities to open up your crown chakra so that you could begin receiving your messages from the divine. So, you may have been getting prophetic dreams, or you may have been having very clear vision. You may have been getting messages to help you understand what your divine gift may be. So that may have happened in the distant past, and that was a sign from God. So after that, in the more recent past, we have rest and rejuvenation. So let's see what the card's guidance is on rest and rejuvenation. Thank you for your patience. All right. So, just to make it clear, rest and rejuvenation also has to do with your thoughts. So, if you remember from our reading for the past energy, I believe it was a full moon in Scorpio, and it addressed us releasing negative thought patterns and negative or toxic connections. And so this is kind of the guidance that we received. It's just confirmation for the guidance that we received from God to release those toxic thoughts that we may have about ourselves and others. And then in that time, take a resting period or rejuvenation period. And it also gives us guidance on how we can tap into more clearly receiving those messages from the divine, as well as connected to our physical practices. So the rest and rejuvenation card says that in the past we were in this period of rest and meditation and rejuvenation and recuperation, probably from these negative toxic connections and these negative thoughts that we had about ourselves. And so it usually comes forward when we're encountering or coming out of a mentally or emotional taxing experience. And the number 4 in numerology means foundation. So this is the foundation for us building our strength to be in our power and lean into our spiritual gifts that would align us to our spiritual path. So, with that, it means foundation. Number 4 means foundation. So, this is a time for you to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving forward nice and steady. And this is allowing space just for your reflection, which is needed and long overdue. So you may have had a period of reflection where you reflected on decisions that you've made. You reflected on relationships that you've been in. You reflected on friendships, romantic partners, connections, your actions, how they impacted people, how others' actions have impacted you, and how that impacted your mental and emotional state. Well, it was all divinely guided and divinely placed. It was all for your highest good. And in this time of reflection, you communed with God, divine, your angels, your ancestors, so they could give you that message and give you this time to connect with them and taking those long needed, overdue relaxation and resting moments that you really needed after um, ending these connections and being in a time of a kind of a really heavy period. Okay, so when you're taking these moments for yourself, you're to give it gives you the opportunity to look at the problem and or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthy, stronger foundation, enabling you to take your next step. So that's this foundation card, rest and rejuvenation. So that was our energy for the past. So I believe we are moving into present energy, which is suffering in silence. Okay. So the number 9 on this card denotes completion. You are finally ready to let go of those limiting negative beliefs or you are no longer allowing these issues in your life to become bigger than they really are. Or are you still allowing that? Your mind has been doing quite a job on you lately, and even your dreams may be trying to get your attention. And that was those visions that I was talking about here in the distant past when you open your crown chakra to receive your messages from the divine. So, with that, when you learn to let go of worry, despair, and a sense of hopelessness, a positive new way or path will be shown to you. This card is signified as being trapped in fear, or comes after the trapped in fear card when your fears are not being confronted. And this is a reminder to take action. So, this is the energy from, I believe, our full moon in Aries card that told us to take action. So this is aligning with the energy for us to take action, and we're to take action on ending our suffering. We're to take action on ending our suffering through our steps by communing with God, because we are getting clear messages from God. So we're going to commune with God through our meditation, through our meditative activities, through our yoga practices, through our walks in nature, through our, I don't know, taking hikes, through our going to the beach and just listening to the waves, because we're giving our mental and emotional space a break, and we are reevaluating those negative thoughts that we had cycling through our mind, and deciding to take action and releasing ourselves from that suffering, because this negative cycle is complete. Okay? Wonderful. That's always good news. I love that. So our next card is an inverted major arcana card. So let's just get into it. And we've got the number 18 there. So the number 18 is shadow. And this card represents emotion sensitivities, and it's a reminder that nothing at life is at a standstill. This is a world of constant flux, and one thing is certain: everything changes. This card is calling you to action. The time is now, when you may have to face your worst fears and look into the dark shadows of your soul. You must learn to confront what you've avoided and walk away courageously through it. Always know that life naturally revitalizes itself, and as it does, so do you. The shadow card promises that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Recognize that by no longer denying your past and letting go of the fears, um, by denying your past and letting the tears fall, you'll discover the diamonds in the treasure chest of your soul. This is a cleansing process to wash away and clear out what was once avoided, ignored, or pushed aside. This card indicates that this is time when your psychic sensitivity may be quite intense. Learn to open up to it if you need, and not to turn it down. Your body is one big psychic antenna. So just remember that you're in control of how high or how low you want the reception to be. Mother Earth can assist you in this period of change and sensitivity and healing. So again, and because it has showed up inverted, some of us are struggling. We're still blocked here, and we don't want to feel those feelings. And if I remember correctly, our full moon in Scorpio asked us to feel these feelings that we were feeling, that we were open to uh, from by the divine in our past, and take action in releasing ourselves from suffering and silence. That's that full moon in Aries. But right now, since this card is inverted, some of us are still struggling to release those blocks. We're struggling and not deciding to feel those feelings, because we're feeling them more intensely, because we are getting that message clearly from the divine to acknowledge our suffering, to acknowledge those hurtful relationships, the the betrayals, okay? The betrayals. So obviously some of us suffered some very intense betrayals in the past. And I'm getting two or three betrayals that stick out. So it's time to acknowledge those betrayals, see how we were involved, and see how they were used still for our highest good, and feel those feelings associated with those betrayals. And in addition to that, know that the worst of it is over. We've completed this number 9. Suffering and silence is the completion of that cycle. That's what this means. This is the completion of the cycle, and this moon energy here, which this archetype, this shadow card is in reference to, is allowing us to dig up those deep-rooted feelings that we had connected to those toxic relationships, or those toxic or hurtful encounters that we were leaving unaddressed. It's time to address those. And we have an opportunity here. This is an opportunity for us to address and acknowledge that and release those things. And some of us are still struggling here. So I'm going to see if God and Spirit, which God and Spirit will, because God and Spirit likes to come through, is going to give us some further guidance of how we navigate letting those tears fall, feeling those feelings, and not allowing this block to stop the flow of energy and the abundant love that the universe is trying to pour out to us, okay? Okay, soul friends. Okay. Let shit go. Let it go. Feel it. These people hurt us. They did. They did some shit. Okay? But sorry, friends, video cut out. I'll fix that. It's a courageous effort to, where was I? Yes. Feel the feelings. We've been hurt. Acknowledge that pain. Acknowledge your pain. Feel your pain. It was real. You had real feelings. You've been suffering in silence. That's over. It's over. The opportunity has come because the bad things that had happened to you, they're over. Now you get to acknowledge and address and feel your feelings and see how they positively pushed you forward for your highest good. And 18, 8 and 1, that's a 9. That's just another symbol of the completion. So we needed this to be over so we could have that firm foundation and be rooted in the divine guidance and universal love that's available to us, okay? And so then here we are at the waiting game, okay? So let's dig into that. I love healing. I love to heal. I get excited about healing, friends. Get excited about it. All right. So this is a message from Spirit. This is a spiritual message kind of rounding this all out. And Spirit is saying this card indicates you've worked hard to set things in motion in certain areas of your life, and you're now waiting for the results to come to fruition. And you're going to slow it down, friends. You're going to slow it down if you do not release and feel those feelings. We've got a little block here, but that's okay. We're going to work through it. We're going to work through it because we are love and we are light and we are strong. We are strong because we went through all this and we still here because we got shit to do. So let's get with it. Okay. So you've worked really hard to set things in motion in your life, and you're now waiting for the results to come to fruition. The number 2 is all about choice and decision. In the past, you may have been afraid to make decisions or choices, but now you're no longer held prisoner. You're no longer suffering in silence by the fear or constraints of the old beliefs. Expect the best and be open to the limitless power of your intuition, which is presently very strong because you're strong, friends. You're strong. You're accessing that full moon in Aries, taking action and stepping into that power, okay? Trust and use it to assist you. So this also signifies that achievements and success are assured. But once obtained, don't let it change you. Remember who you are. You came through the fire, okay? You came through the fire. Don't let it change you. The effort that it took to get you to this point and the gratitude that you need to show to the people who helped you, stay on your spiritual path. The divine, give thanks, send up those thankful prayers, friends, for it will continue to guide you on the journey of your soul. Friends, so this is reinforcing the energy. We're taking these action steps. We're getting into our meditation, our prayer corners, our walks in nature. We're communing with the divine. We're communing with the divine because the divine knows how we were suffering emotionally and mentally, and we needed a break from that. So that's over with. We're no longer having to suffer in silence. What we went through is our testimony, and our testimony and our courage in the strength of our tears that we shed or still are shedding will be the action that we're taking to move us forward, and be assured the success and the universal abundance that Spirit has available to us, because because we're making moves, we're going to have some choices and decisions to make. We worked really hard to do this. We put in the work. We put in the work. So good job on putting in that work, friends. Um, and I know you're continuing to do that. So let's just keep moving forward. And I wanted to see if Spirit has any clarifying messages for us. Just going to get some additional angel guidance here, some loving angel guidance. All right, come on, Spirit. What's the loving guidance to kind of round off this message? Thank you for loving angel guidance to round off this message for the collective. As we are doing the soul path work this week, we're offering ourselves that compassion, friends. That's what we're doing when we're doing the shadow work. That is the clarification for the full moon in Cancer. Okay? Big happy changes. That is the clarification for the full moon in Cancer. And on the bottom of the deck, we have yes. So whatever it is that you're asking about, the answer is yes. Friends, you have a specific question that you're asking about. The answer is yes. That job, yes. That relationship, yes. It's coming, okay? That money, yes, okay? We're just in the waiting game now. The waiting game for that thing in our home to resolve, the arguments with family and friends, and just knowing how to move forward as we're releasing that. We're offering ourselves that compassion. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what the angels have to say about this big happy changes that's coming. That's beautiful. I mean, I think it's pretty clear, but I mean, let's see. Big positive changes are coming into your life. You may find yourself on a new career path. What I say. Entering a new relationship. What I say. Moving into a new home or to a new city. We said that, right? That was the full moon in Cancer last time. The home situation will be resolved, and it's a good time to move. Ooh, look at Spirit, just keeping it all copacetic and keeping the message clear. I said what I said. That's what Spirit said. Okay, embrace these exciting events, knowing that your angels will be beside you all the way. What are you asking about may require you to take a leap of faith. Okay, it seems frightening. You're a little bit in fear here. But you have time. You have time to address and acknowledge that, release that, because you're strong. You're taking action. Trust that the opportunities before you are meant to bring you happiness. These options would not have presented themselves unless you were ready for them. Release your fears and follow your heart, friends. Follow your heart, friends, because your heart is your guide for your soul path. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on now. And whatever you asked about, that answer is yes, okay? It's yes with an exclamation point, friends. Okay? Like absolutely yes. Like, put some stank on it. Yes. Okay? What else do we need? I don't think we need anything else, friends. I don't think we need anything else. I mean, okay. Okay. So we can get some timing. You want to get some timing on it? Let's get some timing, friends. Thank you, Spirit, for clear messages. Give me some timing on this. What is the timing on these big happy changes and this big yes? How, when is that coming in? I mean, the collective, we patient, Spirit, but we want to know the waiting game. When is that beautiful change coming in? And I did do a pull for the distant future. So we did the distant past, the present, the immediate future. That's us kind of working through those blocks, releasing that fear, and then the waiting game in the distant future. Okay. The next couple of weeks, y'all, stop playing. The next couple of weeks, which is 3, which is also a divine number. Okay. Okay. Friends, it's happening. It's happening because you're doing the work. You're hearing from the divine. You're doing the work. Keep working. Keep working. And in the next couple of weeks, you'll see these big happy changes manifesting. Okay? Okay, beloveds? All right. So, again, just to round it all out, you're receiving those clear messages from God. That's helping you develop your firm foundation in your prayer corner through your meditative activities, your yoga, your walks. Do that daily, maybe 4 times a week. Get into it. No longer are you suffering in silence. That shit over with. It's complete. All right? And we're completing this cycle of understanding how we are courageous and we're taking action to step into facing our fears because our testimony is that we are connected. We are divine beings. We are of light and love. We have purpose here. And in our power, as we get into it, we're going to see these big happy changes. Everything that we're asking for, everything that our heart desires, we're manifesting that. We'll get into the waiting game, but we can do that because we're patient. We are patient. So let's go ahead and take off with a little affirmation because we know I love those. We know I love affirmations. And it's just all it's going to do is confirm our affirmation that we've already discussed this week, y'all. Because that's what Spirit does. Spirit just confirms what we already know, what's in our heart. Thank you for clear messages, Spirit. Thank you for affirming and giving us the affirmation that we can carry through, y'all. And I'm going to get these. I'm going to get this shuffling, I promise. Okay. I am in the process of positive change. Okay. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. That's what I'm doing right here. I am unfolding in fulfilling ways. Only good can come to me. I now express health, happiness, prosperity, and a peace of mind. That's it, y'all. We don't need to do anything else. Light and love to you, friends. Until we meet again.